Once upon a time, there were 5 children who lived very simple lives within their tiny town. The population of the town was only 118, and everyone had their own significant lives. The 5 children were Lyndon, Chloe, Soda, and Oxford and Heidi. Together, they had created a group called the LICL NaOH.
This group was very disruptive together, and they caused mischief and havoc towards the rest of the town. The kids need each other in order to cause the mischief, though, as they need every member's resources and skills in order to cause their epidemics.
When the gang wants to be particularly annoying to others in the town, they pair up to make mischief. For example, when Oxford and Heidi pair up with Lyndon, they create lithium hydroxide, a chemical that irritates other people's eyes. The gang's next epidemic was to try and break into the school to get themselves better grades. Soda and Oxford and Heidi together became sodium hydroxide, a corrosive pairing, but alone they still could not knock down the door.
Then Chloe and Lyndon remembered something. If you add molten salt to water, it creates an explosion, so they decide to go find H2O.
Once they got H2O to the school, they placed him in front of the door.
Then Soda and Chloe decide to join H2O, and they start to heat themselves up to salt's melting point, which is at 801 degrees Celsius.
When it finally works, the door opens. This reaction caused the door to blast open, and they all got better grades on all of their assignments.
Soda and Chloe realized after the reaction how well they fit together, and they thought that they should stick together closer than ever before. The reason for these elements being together had to do with the specifics of each element, as lithium and sodium are both metals with one valence electron each. Chlorine, on the other hand, is a nonmetal with a valence shell that needs one more electron to complete its valence shell. Then there's hydroxide, which is a compound with an almost full valence shell as well. Metals and nonmetals are opposites, which creates an ionic bond between them. Lithium and sodium end up giving away their only electron to make themselves neutral, as it is much easier to give away one electron than gain 7, and the degree in which how full or empty the valence shells are will dictate how reactive they are. Another opposite between the elements is that sodium and lithium have a positive charge. On the other hand, hydroxide and chlorine have a negative charge. The reaction starts off with lithium chloride and sodium hydroxide, then moves to being sodium chloride and lithium hydroxide. When you combine the first two compounds, energy is released in a form of light and heat. The end result is that the compounds have changed over to the second form. The reason for it changing to that particular form is because those are the only two forms that it can possibly change to.